Magahon, coming to you live from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee, my coffee with Gino cup here. Today I'm having my French vanilla brewed coffee from 7-Eleven. I just took it out of this container, poured it in my cup here. I've been enjoying my French vanilla brewed coffee from 7-Eleven. That is my favorite coffee here. I can get a large French vanilla brewed coffee at 7-Eleven for 57 pesos. I actually get a discount. If I show my PWD card. I'm a person with disability here in the Philippines. I have an ID to show, but sometimes I don't bring it in my wallet, especially when I'm on my morning walk. Usually I just bring money with me on my morning walk, so I get my French vanilla brewed coffee with just cash and pay the 57. But if I wanted to get a discount, I actually get a discount even for coffee here. Any food items, really, I can get a discount here with my person with disability card here. Bill Meyer, good morning, Bill. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Just going to get situated here. Hey, Edgar, good morning, Edgar. Good to see you, my brother. Guitar, all right, guitar, hello. Hey, Belus. Buntag, maayong buntag, Belus. All right, I was just a quick chat with Belus. He was like, what's the topic today? And I do have a topic. I always like, and I'm going to try to hit the topic early. That way Belus can get on with this day, because I know Belus, man, over there in Leyte. He's got a lot going on. He's running a farm. Many employees. He's got a lot of farm hands. So he likes to get his day started like me early and get going. So I'll hit the topic real quick here, Belus. That way you can go on with your day. I know you always got a busy day ahead of you, brother. You always got a busy day ahead of you. Yo. Hey, there's Tim, my good friend in Las Vegas. Yo. Magandang umaga, Wolfgang. Magandang umaga, my friend. Magandang umaga. Okay, I'm gonna hit the weather, and then I'm gonna hit the topic right after the weather report. I've been looking at the Windy app. Nothing yet entering the Philippine area is a responsibility. Looks like a low pressure area developing, like east of Leyte, where Belus is. But it hasn't entered the Philippine area of responsibility yet. Maybe in a couple of days here, it'll enter the Philippine area of responsibility. And if it does, and it develops and becomes a storm, it will be called tropical depression typhoon Wilma. W, we're in the letter W already. Number 23 for the year, the 23rd typhoon of the year. It will be Wilma. Kind of like Wilma, like Fred Flintstone, Wilma. That's going to be the name if it comes in. Right now, it's still developing out there. It might dissipate, might become a typhoon or not. But it's looking like it's going to be the 23rd typhoon of the year for 2025. Typhoon Wilma, it looks like. But today, just normal rainy season weather here in the Philippines. It says here, Sulu, Basilan, that's in Mindanao, Cagayan, Ilocos Norte, the rest of Ilocos region, Central Luzon, Metro Manila. Everything is like partly cloudy and cloudy skies with isolated light rains today. Here, as you can see, it's like bright and sunny already. It's gonna be a warm day today. Amazing sunrise I caught this morning. I actually took my dog Toto with me out on the walk. She doesn't like to walk though. She's getting older too. She's 9 years old. When I walk her, she likes to smell everything. So it kind of like messes me up on my walk, because that's why usually what I do. First thing in the morning, I do my morning walk really early, sometimes before sunrise. I get my walk in, I do the live stream, take Leanna to school, do the live stream, and then after my live stream is when I walk Toto, because Toto's walk really is more like she just likes to smell everything. She's not one of those dogs, even if I try to jog, pick up the pace. She's not, I guess she's getting older. She doesn't like to walk. She just likes to smell everything, pee on everything, and then I can always tell when she wants to head back home already. She gives me the signal like, let's go. I'm tired of walking. Maybe because it's warm too, But today, actually, this morning, a little cooler than usual. You can kind of feel that December feel here in the Philippines. Nice, cool. I mean, it's not cold by any chance. I'm still wearing like a t-shirt and shorts when I do my morning walk. But you can tell a little bit of cool air early this morning. But now it's gone. Once the sun goes up, that's why here I try to do everything before the sun comes up, before 9 a.m. because once 9 a.m. hits and the sun is up, it's gonna get warm. It's gonna get warm. Like today, would not surprise me if we reach like 90-degree temperatures here today. Hey, Bizwax, Bizwax, good seeing you, Bizwax. Thank you for joining the live stream. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Daniel, my good friend in Jacksonville, Florida. The Posse Bros. All right, Daniel. Good to see you. Old boy, Roy. Hello, young lady. I'm a young lady. All right, dude. Dazzle TV, coffee with Genome. I started today. All right, Belus. I'm going to hit the topic here. I'm watching from, all right, Thailand. All right, Wolfgang. Hey, James, there's James and Karen's adventure, my good friend James. Went on an adventure yesterday. James texted me, look forward to the video, man. A fun video, I'm sure, that's gonna come out. And he did a live stream up there, way up there in Libacao Mountain. He did a live stream, man. That's like incredible, the lengths James go, he just like, these are places James goes where there's not even roads going to those places, So James, definitely the adventurer here in the Philippines, living his best life, man. My good friend James is just like living his best life. I'm so happy for him because I know that feeling. When I moved here to Boracay Island 14 years ago, man, I was just carefree, loose. I felt like never been so free in my life. And I know James is feeling that freedom, just freedom to like do things, not worry about rules, regulation, or it's like, now the world has turned into like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not allowed to do that, you're not allowed to do this. To me, it's just like, it's taking out some of the joy and fun in life sometimes with all these restrictions now. I know in the U.S., man, they got a law, they got a regulation for everything in the U.S. And here in Aklan province, and I know James is just enjoying the freedom. There's nobody gonna stop you here from doing whatever you want. If you want to ride mountain bikes, if you want to ride motorcycles up in the mountains, go where nobody has gone before, you can do that here. Nobody's gonna stop you here. If you want to go hunting there ain't no hunting license here. Just go hunt. Just go hunt. Just catch stuff. It's like I know that's the freedom that James is experiencing here, and I'm so happy for him. Sergeant USA, you save money yet? No more storage units from Edgar. All right. I think it's getting down. Hey, Ruben. All right, my brother here. He in Kalibo, Kalista, a Panay Posse member here. Aloha. Kakahiyaka. He's our local Hawaiian resident, but now Kalibo resident. Ruben's gonna be here a year. Come January, 1 year living in Kalibo for Ruben. So happy for you, brother. Maligayang Pasko. Merry Christmas, Ruben. Peanut butter travels. All right. Okay, I'm gonna hit the topic. I do not want to hold my good friend Belus in Leyte. The topic today, I have notes here. I just want to make sure. My good friend Ray from Sacramento, early this morning, as soon as I got up, I always get videos from people. They are like, hey, I get like, a dozen videos throughout the day from people sharing videos to me. And I love it because like, I know the person like Ray, he saw the video, it made an impact to him and he wants to share it with me. So I watched the video. The video was this young American. He's like here in the Philippines. I don't know how long he's been here, but he just made a quick video. He showed that like here, since he's been here in the Philippines, he's seen how Filipinos, like the family oriented Filipinos, how friendly everybody is. He's a younger guy. He looked like maybe in his 30s still, so he's not retirement age like me or like a lot of the Panay Posse brothers. But he's younger, but he just sees like that dynamic, how here in the Philippines, people are so friendly. He can come up to people. He's an afam, right? He's an afam. So good-looking guy, two good-looking guys. So I'm sure the ladies were like, younger guy in the Philippines. Afam. It's like, but he's having a great time because he's seen how family-oriented the Filipinos are. He's seen how welcoming the Filipinos are. He's like being invited to like have a red horse. Have a red horse. He's singing karaoke with the locals and. He's going, of course, most people, and they initially come here to the Philippines, they go to like the amazing beaches here, amazing nature. He's like at a waterfalls. There's a shot of him like swimming in the waterfalls, just enjoying the Philippines. I don't know if he's gonna, and I'm pretty sure probably a vacation. I'm thinking it's a vacation for him, but still, he just pointed out on the video, and I was gonna talk about that, how the Philippines is just, I'm sure everybody's heard that it's more fun in the Philippines. And there's truth to that. I understand the Philippines has issues. It's like, I think any country pretty much has issues. But I do think, that line where it's more fun in the Philippines, more and more foreigners that come here, more and more people that end up staying here, they do see that it's more fun in the Philippines. I know Ruben feels that. I know Stevie, Stevie's just renewed his visa for another 30 days. The first initial extension on the tourist visa is 30 days. So he just did that. So he's been here now for about a month and he's just having a great time. He's met locals in Caticlan. He's fishing almost every day. Exactly what he was thinking before he got here. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to go to fishing. He's been on a boat ride in a bangka with the locals, just meeting the locals. And that's what and Steve is also originally from Hawaii, native born Hawaiian. Then he ended up in Washington State. So now he's here in the Philippines, just exploring, enjoying the Philippines. And it's just every message I get from him, he's like, man, this is what I remember Hawaii used to be back when I was a kid in Hawaii. That's what the Aklan province reminds him of. It's like, he's in nature, he's fishing, he's like talking with the locals, just hanging out with the locals. So that's why he's having a great time. I know Stevie is having a great time. And that's the thing with like here, even in my neighborhood here, and that's what I was gonna bring up. I'm not bashing the U.S. I love America. America's given me this life that I have. I have a United States military pension. I'm always gonna be grateful for that. I'm not bashing it. It's just that I'm just pointing out the difference where not saying Philippines is better and the US is better. I'm just going to point out some of the things that I've observed here for the last 14 years here. One of the things, like in my neighborhood, if I walk to my street here in my neighborhood, I know everybody on my street. I actually talk to my neighbors. I actually like the neighbors here, actually you'll see. Like merienda is big here in the Philippines. I know that's not a thing in the US. Merienda is like, after lunch, before dinner, usually around 3 p.m., people make merienda. Merienda usually is like, they might fry some plantain bananas. They might make this thing called here, langkuga is what's called here. Ginataan bilo-bilo in Tagalog, but here they call it langkuga. or it's a snack to hold you over before dinner. Filipinos love to eat. Filipinos love to eat. And here in our street, if my neighbor next door or down the street here is making langkuga, it wouldn't surprise me if they'll knock on my door with a Tupperware saying, hey, I got some langkuga extra for you guys. That's how neighborly people are here. My other neighbor here that has a farm, they have a farm outside from, not in Camellia, they have a farm. When they go to their farm, they pick bananas, papayas, mangoes. They'll have, and they will knock on my door and small plastic of like a fruit offering. Hey, we have some extra. It's just neighborly. It's just neighborly like that. And you just feel that here. And for me, even before I left the United States in 2011, when I was living in Tucson, Arizona, I just never had that. It's like in the commute, I owned my house, I had a garage, I had a, you kind of just like when you come out of your car or when you're like walking in your neighborhood, you kind of go like, hey, what's up? Just kind of, hey, what's up? That's all you get from your neighbors. You don't really know your neighbors. Your neighbor could be like right next door to you, right across from your house. But really people kind of like, I don't know if it's like standoffish, but people are careful, right? And then now, from what I'm hearing from people, it's even gotten worse. People kind of like keep to themselves, they don't really go out of their house. I know people with kids, I have friends in the United States, and even Filipino American friends of mine tell me this, how their kids are just like day and night, they're inside the house playing video games, online video games. They're almost hooked. They're almost hooked on that video games online. Like our neighborhood here, at the afternoon here at sunset, every sunset, all the neighborhood kids here, they're out playing outside. They're riding their bicycles, they're dribbling a basketball, they're playing volleyball, they're playing badminton. You just see them, like when I walk with Dazzle at sunset, you just see, this is kind of like what I remember when I was a kid. It wasn't like, of course we didn't have video games back when I was a kid in the 70s, that didn't exist. We were always outside playing, and you still see that here. You still see that here in the Philippines. And I think, people, it's like, you just have to wait. You just have to, if you have kids, I know many people now are moving back here to the Philippines. I know Filipino American friends of mine that are moving back here to the Philippines with their younger kids, kids that are grade school still, because they're seeing that. Before, I remember that even when I was in the US, you always had that thinking, well, the US is a lot better education-wise for my kids, better raise my kids in the United States. I don't think that's the thinking now. More and more people that I see, my friends in Iloilo City now, from Canada, from New Hampshire, they're moving to Iloilo City with their Filipina spouses with kids because they're finding out that it's no longer that thinking now. It's like you're thinking, well, before you would think that it's better to raise your kids in America. I think that thinking is going away now. Here in the Philippines, when you raise your kids here in the Philippines, there's that family here. Family is like big in the Philippines. It's like you're gonna raise your kid. If you come from America, Canada, or whatever, bring your kids here to the Philippines. You have a Filipina partner. Your kids are gonna be surrounded by family. Your kid's gonna be surrounded with cousins, aunties, uncles. It's just a good vibe to raise your kids like that. They're gonna be playing outside. It's like in the US, there's a tendency for the kids to get isolated, because a lot of times, like even when I went to the United States at 12, I came from Manila, where I had a lot of cousins, I had a lot of aunties. When I got to the United States, we're kind of spread out. Some of us lived in California, some of us live in Texas, some of us in New Jersey, some in New York. You know, we would get together maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas, but it's not the same when you're like in an environment where almost every day you're seeing your relatives. And I see that. I see that with Dazzle, you know, because she is so close with all her brothers and sisters, her cousins. We can't go to Katiklan or Boracay without us running into people. And you're happy to run into them. Hey, you know, how have you been? You know, it's one of Dazzle's cousin. You know, I just see that dynamic more and more now, that I do see a trend of more, especially with Filipino Americans that have younger kids. A lot of them still in their 40s, are still working in the US. But, you know, if they had gotten like a military pension or something like that, any type of pension, they're moving back here to the Philippines and seeing that, because they're also seeing that. They're also seeing that if I stay here in America until I'm 62 for Social Security, you know, the environment my kids will be growing up, will it be healthy for my kids? You know, it's like a lot of times I know people see this in the US. When your kids turn 18 in the US, they bail on you. You know, you know, it's good that they're independent, that it's good that they're finding their own life, but you miss that closeness with family. Here in the Philippines, man, most people here, even if they're 18, they graduate college, they still live at home. Maybe for financial reasons, they still live at home, but you have that family support. You know, if you go through like hard times, you know, usually when you're in early 20s, you know, you don't know life things, you know, you might have a heart, you know, broken heart with a girlfriend or something. It's good to be around family. When you suffer those kind of things, because they'll make you laugh, they'll make you smile. You know, it's harder when you're like, yeah, you're independent, you're handling all the stress, right, with work, your career, and then if you get heartbroken, if you get divorced, you're handling all that by yourself a lot of times when you're in the United States. Unlike here, you have a good support system here. If I think that plays into in the US. I know there's just so many people in the US that needs therapy. Like, nothing wrong with therapy. You know, if it helps a person, I'm all for therapy. I'm medical personnel. I understand, but a lot of people on therapy, a lot of people on Prozac, a lot of people just got a lot of like mental problems that develop because they don't have the family support around them. You know, like us. I'll give you an example. Like when Chloe passed away last week. That was tough, man. And it's still tough for Dazzle and I. We're still, you know, Chloe was our baby for 11 and a half years. But we have the support system here. You know, mom is here, Leanna is here. The four of us, we huddle. We're like, hey, you know, we just got to remember all the good times with Chloe. Grateful that we have videos of Chloe, plenty of pictures. But we have a nice support system. Even our relatives that are in Katiklan, they're messaging us. You know, when we buried Chloe in Katiklan, they were there with us burying Chloe. We hugged each other. You just have that support, you know, support system. In the US, a lot of times, you know, there's something to be said about being independent. You know, I remember I joined the military at 17. You know, it's like I was on my own at 17. But there was many times when I was 17 in the military, I could have probably used family around me. You know, it's like with the stuff I was dealing with the military. You know, I was Filipino. You know, this is back in the 80s. Not many Filipinos in the United States Air Force at that time. You know, there's a little bit of like discrimination happening. You know, there's like you know, you're a real minority in the United States Air Force when you're a Filipino back in 1983. But there's nobody I can talk to about that. You know, it's like, you know, in my head, it was like, man, you just gotta rough it through. You know, you just gotta be, you know, tougher. You gotta be tougher. You gotta take it. You gotta take, you know, just, it's a blessing that you're at least working. But, you know, I didn't have the support system. You know, it's like, when I joined the military, man, you know, it's like, you know, I met some good friends, thankfully. You know, I had some, my Air Force brothers, they were in the same boat as me. You know, it's like, you know, in the military, you kind of get thrown with people from the Midwest, from the South, from Boston. You know, it's like, we're like from other countries, from Guam, from, you know, you name it. We're like, you know, we're really a melting pot in the military. But at least, I did meet some good brothers in the military. To this day, they are my brothers. Let me see here, my notes. I just want to make sure I hit it. Neighbors, and even the expats, even the expats now that I'm friends with here in Aklan province, it's like we get together, we meet, we schedule meetups, we get together, we share like the restaurants we ate, the resorts that we find here in Aklan. Edgar, he's always like, hey man, I found this resort. Edgar and I were already talking about New Year's. Let's find a resort for New Year's. And, we're, you just have that dynamic because a lot of the expats that come here, we're pretty much the same, right? We left our country wherever we came from, and then we got here to the Philippines. So that alone we have in common. And the one thing I like is like, we don't really talk politics. It's like, to me, that's the way it should be anyway. I don't understand how now in America, because I see it on my Facebook, even my friends are divided on Facebook. My military friends, you can tell the instant divide because one sides with the Republicans, one sides with the Democrats, and you can see the divide, even their comments, and then sometimes they get unfriended. Oh, you can unfriend me if you don't believe what I believe. That kind of thing. We don't have that here in the Philippines. Like, I know with Edgar, I know with Gray, I know with Mel, it's like HD with Stevie. We don't have that. It's like, what, we're so far gone from what's happening in the United States. And also, we're all retired. We're all just enjoying the fourth quarter of our life. We're just all trying to live our best life, trying to smile every day, thankful that we're still upright, thankful that we're still upright. The last thing we worry about is like politics, and really, how much does it really affect us here in the Philippines? When you think about it, it doesn't really affect us here. What affects us here is our day-to-day interaction with each other. And what I've seen with the expats and friends here, we are all friends. We're all like getting along. We're just happy. We're happy to see them. Oh, you got a new motorbike. Oh, you got a new girlfriend. Those kind of things. Just happy. Just because, at when you reach your fourth quarter of your life, when you reach that retirement age, man, you just don't want drama anymore. You just want to like wake up in the morning, do your morning walk, have your nice cup of coffee, look forward to a nice and quiet and peaceful day, or look forward to like, hey, when's the next get together? When are we gonna hang out again? It's like we have a hangout coming up here. One of our Panay posse member is having a birthday. So we're going to get together for that birthday. We're going to sing karaoke for that birthday. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's the life that we have here in Aklan province, and the life that a lot of the expats that I know, that's the life we're building here. Our community, we have a nice community of expats here. Like I said, we're just more united, it seems like. Again, because a lot of us, I have yet to be in an expat group meeting here where I hear politics, because that's almost like a no-no. That's almost a no-no. It's like the minute you mention politics, everybody just kind of gets quiet. Everybody just kind of gets quiet because... and believe me, most of us that's here, most of the expats that I know here, don't really care anymore what's going on with politics in the world and all that. We're just trying to find our peace and happiness here in the Philippines. Just trying to live out the best days of our lives, hopefully. All right, let me go back to the comments here. So I covered my topic there for Belus. I know Belus, he's got a busy day ahead of him. Now I got a lot of comments. I gotta get back here for my comments. I got behind. All right, let me just see. All right, there's Ruben. That was Peanut Butter Travels. All right. Wolfgang, liked and subbed. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that, Wolfgang. Derek, aloha. Good morning, my brother from Hawaii. All right, aloha, aloha. Lowell, kumusta? Kumusta from Oregon? Mabuti, mabuti ako kaibigan. Mabuhay, mabuhay. God bless my brother. God bless. Back from therapy. All right, man. Get all that therapy done, man. Get as healthy as you can. And, we'll start planning your trip here to the Philippines. And Wolfgang, James, Karen, hi there. All right. That's why Thai, the Thai is called the free. I like how they go on despite any restrictions and laws. All right, all right. I've visited Thailand a few times, but I don't really, just for vacation, more like a tourist. So I don't really know the whole, the culture. I don't really understand, but yesterday was another beautiful day. I know James and Karen's adventure. James shares stuff with me. It's like when he's out adventuring here in Aklan, he'll send me a text, he'll send me a picture. And man, you're just blessed, my brother. You're blessed, man. Like some of the pictures that James showed me yesterday up in the mountains, on top of the mountain with a view looking down. It's like just amazing, just amazing. So happy for him. Daniel, then Edgar, my last storage payment was last week. Congratulations. Congratulations, Daniel. Must be a good feeling that you're done, right? You're done with storage units. You're done with payments. You got rid of all your stuff. And trust me, Daniel, all that stuff, all that material things that we accumulate, I did. I accumulated stuff when I was in the US. Now, 14, almost 15 years later, none of that mattered. Now I look back, that was just a waste of time for me to lugging all that stuff, military memorabilia, furniture, excess stuff that I was carrying around with me in the U.S. In storage unit or garage full of stuff. All that, it's like now that I'm older, now that I understand life, all that stuff, it was a waste of money for me. I could have just not bought all that stuff, and I would have had more money today than and that's why now, it's like I'm living a more minimalist lifestyle. I don't buy stuff. I just don't buy stuff anymore. I get a lot of hand-me-downs. This phone was a hand-me-down from my friend. This one's phone is a hand-me-down from Vincent. My laptop, Ruben gave me this laptop. I don't buy stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't need it. I don't need material things anymore. Hannah, hello. Hi. Hey, John Vasquez, the alien. Hey, I got that as one of my alien emoji on my custom emoji on the channel. Just for you, JP thought that it would be cool to get your own emoji. Daniel, all the most I am saving and making is paying down debts. Good. Pay down debts, man. I have zero debt, man. I have zero debt. I have not had any debt in so long now. I don't even know what debt means, man. Saving for my new start in the Philippines. All right. Going towards my Tokyo trip. Yeah. All right. I mean, think about that, Daniel. Think about that. You're saving money for a trip to Tokyo. You're saving money for your new life here. Man, what could be better than that, than paying for storage units, right? Like I said, once you're done with all those storage units, you're here, you're gonna realize, man, what were you doing? Paying all those, keeping all those stuff, carrying all that stuff that probably just stress you out. Bizwax, Gino, there's a similar video from Commander Daot. All right, I watched a little bit of Commander Daot. I know who he is. He's friends with Kulas. He was showing Davao Oriental to 3 surfers from Hawaii. Reminds them of Hawaii. Oh, yeah, right? Well, exactly. That's what my friend Stevie was telling me. He grew up in Hawaii. He was a kid growing up in Hawaii. And what he tells me, Katiklan, that's what it reminds him of. Edgar, right here. Sergeant, it's not that expensive here, but buying things you want and need can cost you more at first. Yes, right? Especially if you're looking for items that that you're comfortable with, that you're used to, like imported items coming from the United States or abroad, it's going to cost you more here because it costs more. There's a duty tax of everything imported that comes here. If you order anything from Amazon or Amazon Prime from the United States, the shipping. But once you get all established, once you get like the things that you really want or you really need that you're to make your life here comfortable, your expenses will level out. It's always more expensive. You spend more when you're trying to, like, when you get to a place. Ooh, I don't like the sheets, or I don't like the pillow, or the little luxury items. But once you get all that squared away, you can get on the nice budget here. You can get in a nice budget and start saving. Tim, my good friend in Vegas. Daniel, Tokyo. You're big money, bro. All right. Well, Tim, you know what? Tokyo is not that expensive anymore. Not like it used to be. When I lived in Japan, early 2000 to 2003, the yen exchange rate was 90 to $1. The yen exchange rate now is 150 yen to $1. So that's why there's like a boom now of tourists that go to Japan. Even Filipinos from here, Filipinos from the Philippines are going to Japan vacationing. That was unheard of before, just because, man, it's expensive. Japan used to be expensive, but it's not expensive now. It's gotten a lot cheaper to travel inside Japan. Now, I have seen though, like, Japanese are like saying like, "Ooh, we got too many tourists." We got too many tourists now. Fortune, good AM, Fortune, good AM. Gino family and the Panay posse. Thank you, Fortune, for joining the live stream this morning, brother. Thank you, Fortune. Edgar, Mr. Fortune, good morning. Master Yoda, our Master Yoda, Fortune, our Master Yoda. Good AM, Edgar, Belus, Daniel, James and Karen, Ruben, Peanut Butter Travels, Derek, Lowell. Man, that's a long list, right, Fortune? Our list of like community here is just growing, and I love it. I love it that we're becoming like good friends. We're becoming brothers. Pretty soon, we're all gonna be part of the family here. David Boyd, magandang umaga, kaibigan. Hello, everyone. David Boyd. Derek, that how it was when I was a kid in Indiana. Right. To me, that's why I enjoy it here. Dazzle and I, we've been living here now at Camellia Clan, 9.5 years, going on 10 years. We're living here in Camellia Clan. I've seen the growth in our community, but even with that growth, I see the kids here. The kids, when we moved here, they're like 2 years old, 3 years old. Now they're like teenagers. Like now they're 12 and 13, and they call me Kuya, and I like that. I like that how I'm Kuya to all the kids that I've seen them here grow up. I know the names of their dogs. I know them. It's like even the kids, even their parents. There's a sense of community. And tell you what, in our neighborhood here, we have a group chat. When somebody passes away, we all send our condolences. People donate. There's just a sense of community here. That's the thing about the Philippines. I think that sense of community, unfortunately, we're losing. America is losing that. Maybe a lot of it because of the politics in the U.S. Because I know the politics in the U.S. have gotten so heated now that even family members are like breaking up because of their politics. Like, mom and dad with their kids, the kids don't believe what mom and dad, to me, man, that, you don't see that here in the Philippines. Your mom and dad, grandpa and grandma, there is respect here that won't go away. You get slapped on your head over here if you start talking your, political beliefs, and you're like, you're this, it just doesn't happen here. I'm sure maybe a little bit, maybe, like there's a rare occasion, but man, here in the Philippines, family is so big here that you don't want to be disowned by your family. You don't want to be disowned by your parents. You follow your parents here. You follow your grandparents here. Fortune can tell you about that. It's like There is no disrespect here when it comes to mom, dad, lolo or lola, grandpa or grandma. There's just things that you don't do in the Philippines, and that's one of it. We have high respect for our elders here. We do mano po when we see them. We grab their hand, mano po, lola, mano po, lolo. It's like, the elderly here in the Philippines are well respected. There's no shade that gets thrown their way. It's like you will be looked at as very disrespectful if you disrespect any elderly here in the Philippines. Even if you're like a Jollibee or you're McDonald's, you see an older couple walk in there. Man, people like, hey Lola, you go ahead. Your priority. That you don't see much now in the U.S. I'm hearing from people telling me, the elderly people in the U.S. they're 70s, 80s, they're getting tossed in the side. They're getting thrown in like nursing homes and things. I don't know if there's a nursing home in Calibo. I've never heard of a nursing home in Calibo. Here in the Philippines, the younger people, Lola and Lola, somebody in the family is going to take care of Lola and Lolo. Somebody's going to raise their hand. Hey, I'll take Lolo, I'll take Lola if they can stay at my house. It's never a problem where, Lola, the grandpa, grandma, nobody's going to take care of them. I just do not see that dynamic here in the Philippines. Gloria, hey Gloria, hello Gloria. Hannah, hey, all right Hannah, thank you. Belus, I'm blessed. Wyoming, like here, hospitable, conservative, no snow here. Hee hee. All right, I know, right? I mean, right now, all my friends in Canada, all my friends in the US, they're sending me, man, it is freezing here. They're like showing me accidents on the road, like snow sticking to the ground, It's freezing. Yeah, right. Belus is freezing in Wyoming. And here we got 90-degree temperature. I can go swim in the ocean today. I can go 10 minutes to Navitas Beach and I can be hanging out on the beach this morning if I choose to. Daniel, hello. J&K, Edgar and Ford from Daniel. Derek. I rode my bike all day. Didn't come until... I know, right? I did the same thing. I remember our bikes back in the 70s. We have those bikes with the handlebar, with like the streamers. And you remember we used to put like on the spoke of our wheel, you would like the clothespin and you tie that playing card. So like when you're like, it's making noise. And I remember all that. Kids still here do that here. The other day I was showing that to the kids here in our neighborhood, what they can add to their bike to make it fun. They're like building ramps. You know how we would build ramps and you would jump the ramp? It's not a big ramp, but it was a big deal. Like, oh yeah, you can jump your bike. The kids here still do it. I have a skateboard. I still skateboard to this day because the kids here ride their skateboards and they like seeing me on my skateboard. They go, oh, Kuya's pretty good on a skateboard. I've always ridden skateboards. I've been, when I moved to California, I was on my skateboard all the time. And, I don't have the short board anymore. I have a long board. And my long board, I can just, I don't ride hills anymore. I'm more safe on my skateboard, but I still enjoy. In our neighborhood here, I still ride my skateboard. David, we got 6 inches last time. Oh, wow, 6 inches. I remember that. I remember like 6 inches of snow. When I was in Japan, I was in Misawa Air Base in Japan. And it's northern Japan, so we got all that wind coming out of Russia. Man, it was cold. It was cold in northern Japan, man. Aomori Prefecture is where Misawa Air Base. 6 months out of the year, we had like snow on the ground. From October to April, we had snow on the ground. It was so cold there. They actually sometimes measure the snow there in feet, not in inches, man. Or you're gonna have 1.5 feet of snow. I was like, oh dang, that's a lot of snow. But the Japanese were so efficient. The Japanese were so efficient at like plowing all the roads. I lived in a tower. It's a 7-story tower, and they were pretty good at like opening the streets for us to work. Our main thing was like scraping or removing the snow from our car, getting in our car, heating the car. But as far as the roads, they were really good at doing a good job of like clearing the roads in Misawa Air Base. John Vasquez, Fortune, Bizvax. My son visiting Davao this Christmas. All right, man, that's gonna be a good Christmas for you. Happy for you, my friend. I have 4 weeks to show him around. Not bad place to be. He's coming from Ohio. All right, I'm sure, man. Davao. I hear a lot of good things about Davao. Ruben actually went to Davao. That was one of his. He met a YouTuber in Davao, and he was when he was trying to decide where to go. He went to Dumaguete, he went to Davao, and he ended up here in Calibo. But that was one of his picks to settle here in the Philippines. But I've heard good things about Davao, nothing but good things. I know Mindanao always kind of has that, stigma here in the Philippines. But I know Davao, Cagayan de Oro, those areas, I've heard nothing but good things from expats that live there. David, my son said he can own land in the PI since his mom is Pinay. Is that true? All right. If your son's mom is Pinay, he can apply for Philippine citizenship in the United States. You would have to go through the Philippine consulate in the United States where he lives. My friend Joel and Eileen, both of them, born in the United States. Both of them born in the United States, but their parents were Filipino and they were able to obtain their Philippine citizenship. I'm not sure if it's called dual citizenship. I'll have to ask Joel the next time I talk to him. But as long as on your birth certificate, you can prove to the Philippine consulate that you have Filipino mother, Filipino father, they will give you a Philippine citizenship so you can own land here in the Philippines. Very lenient when it comes to that. It's not hard. Anytime you go to like a Philippine consulate in abroad or in California, let's say Texas, they're happy to gain to give you a citizenship to the Philippines if you're eligible, if you've got Filipino blood in you. We got 8 inches of snow here, but it finally stopped snowing today. Been snowing since Saturday. Ooh, a lot of snow. For me, I remember snow when I was in Japan. It was fun, right? When snow first arrives, everybody's happy. Oh, snow! It's exciting. It's like. But after a couple of weeks of like shoveling snow, clearing your car with the scraping your car with the ice scraper with the ice, heating putting all the clothes, putting all the gear, layer of stuff. It does get old after a while. My friend actually, David, he lives in Canada, and he shares videos with me all the time. He says, man, I'm getting too old for this. He's getting too old for winter because, he started with you got to replace your tires. He putting on his winter tires. He was chopping wood, stacking his wood for the winter. And now, if winter's arriving, he said, it's getting harder and harder for him, to do. He's getting, he's in his 60s now, getting older. So it's getting harder and harder for him. So that's why he's thinking about his wife's from Balete, Aklan, only 30 minutes away from here. And he did try it for like 30 days. He went on vacation here in Balete last year. The heat is the thing that he says, man, I don't know if I can handle the heat in the Philippines. I told him, hey, there's always air condition. There's always air condition. But would you rather suffer from the cold, hard winters, or would you rather, be in the heat, and have AC? So he's debating it whether he'll make the move here to the Philippines. Belus, I always say, make it there, spend it here. I can myself in the US Here I feel a small army. You must feel a small army. And I think that's what a lot of people are realizing that now too. Even the Filipinos that are here, they're applying for work abroad or applying to go to the United States. A lot are realizing now. It's like, and I think Filipinos knew that before anyway. A lot of Filipinos, they really just work abroad to work and gain that money because that income's there, because the income is not here, available here to them. But once they secure a good job overseas, work overseas, they're sending their money here. They're buying land here. They're building homes here. They're building businesses here, because the end goal for most Filipinos that I know, most OFWs, overseas Filipino workers, make your money abroad, build it here in the Philippines. And then as soon as they have something built here, like a home, a small business, they're quitting their jobs. My neighbors here, I have a lot of OFW workers here. That is their mentality. They just want to make as much money they can in a ship, in Dubai, in you name it, all countries in the world. But they're building something here. They're opening business here. The minute they feel like, man, I don't have to work abroad anymore, be away from my wife and kids, I'm gone. That's the goal. That's a goal for many Filipinos here. Hey, Bizwax, is your son near Wright Patterson? Hey, I know where Wright Pat is. I never went to Wright Pat, but I was part when I was at Brooks Air Force Base. Our parent command was Wright Pat. I worked at Armstrong Laboratory. We did experiments in the Air Force. And Wright Pat was like our boss, the unit there. Bizwax, David, we're from Columbus, Ohio. All right. Hey, Edgar's from Ohio. Edgar right here is from Ohio. I remember. Derek, I was 18 in Indiana when I joined the Navy, 1981. All right, Derek. I was 17 when I joined the Air Force, and 1983. So 2 years later from you, and I was 17 when I joined the United States Air Force. August of 1983. I just turned 17 and 4 days, and I signed the paper. My mom had to sign the paper because I was still a minor. I was still considered a minor at 17. I live in Lebanon, Ohio. My son lives in Dayton. Good morning, Gino and Dazzle. All right, Dazzle's still asleep. We're getting back to our normal routine, Colonel. Like yesterday, Dazzle and Mom, they were doing karaoke here at night. So I'm always in bed by 8 p.m. But everybody's trying to get back to normal. It's like life is becoming normal now for us. After our loss with Chloe last week. My son going to the Philippines in 3 weeks. All right, man. I like hearing that. I like hearing people coming to the Philippines, adventuring, seeing what the Philippines has to offer. I mean, you're not gonna know about the Philippines until you put boots on the ground here. Yeah, you're not gonna decide whether you like it in the Philippines or not. And a lot of times, I tell people all the time, don't base your opinion on the Philippines if you just go to BGC. I saw a post earlier on Philippine expats group. This guy went to BGC and he said he's not coming back. It's like finding another country in Southeast Asia, which is fine. He's perfectly, that's his right. It's like everybody's got their choice. But to me, BGC is not a good representation of the Philippines. If you go to Bonifacio Global, that's a metropolis. That's like condominiums, tall buildings. To me, that's not a good representation of the Philippines. To me, they're missing the beauty of the Philippines. And like I've always said many times, Panay Island, Aklan Province, this whole island here of Panay Island, it's a gem. It's a gem for people that want to find a better life, people that want to find a quieter life, people that want to be around people that are not so materialistic. It's like, that's what you get at BGC, unfortunately. If you go to BGC, people are concerned about how big their condo is, what kind of car they drive, what kind of big SUV, kind of big truck they drive. I mean, nothing wrong with that if that's if that's what you want to be around, right? But if you're like the type of person looking for a quieter lifestyle, looking for get yourself a motorbike, right? Get yourself a Honda ADV for like $3,000, get a motorbike and ride around free here and do the Panay Loop, ride your motorbike everywhere here. If you're the type of person that enjoys nature, man, James and Karen, you can see it in James and Karen Adventures videos. Nothing but nature here in Aklan province. Nothing but nature here in Panay Island. You got wide open roads that you can ride. You can ride roads where there's not even a road. If you're like James, like the adventurer, if you got one of those dual sport motorbikes, man, you can go dirt riding, through the mountains. Nobody's gonna stop you. You're free to do whatever you want here. There's no restriction. There's no laws. Hey, you can't go there. None of that. None of that. Good morning, all. Good morning, all from the Colonel. All right, Edgar. I was from Springboro, David. Springboro, man. See, I'm learning about Ohio, man. I've never heard of Springboro. I've heard about Dayton, right, Pat? I had a date. I've had an idea where that is, but. We got all the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes are well represented here on our live stream this morning. Morning, Colonel from Belize. All right. Wow, small world. David Boyd says small world. Edgar, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that's how it is, when you say small world, because I remember one of my neighbors here, Mom Edna. I call her Mom Edna. She's part of our HOA. She's kind of like, I think, the secretary now, but she's always part of our homeowners association. Lives down the street from me, on my same street, Mom Edna. He's got 2 kids. Mom Edna was a classmate of Fortune in Manila. What are the odds of that? From all the way in Manila, Mom Edna is here. They were Fortune sent me a picture of Mom Edna with him. Like they had a reunion. So how cool is that? Small world indeed. No snow necessary for the Colonel. You don't want any snow, Colonel? You don't want snow? You don't miss snow, right, Colonel? You don't miss snow. Daniel, hi, Colonel. Darwin said hi. Bizwax. Oh my goodness, small world. Edgar and David, right? It's like all these Ohio people here in the Philippines, and I see everyone is here. I know, right? All right, Colonel, everybody's here. LVA, Journeys from Bohol. Ted, what's up? Good morning. David, yes, he can own land if he is dual citizen. Yep, you can own land here. How much your dentist cost you? It depends what work as far as the dentist here. Usually for a checkup, usually it'll cost you maybe $18, like 1,000 pesos for cleaning. They do have a good dentist now. My dentist is at Asia Pacific Medical Center. High tech, man. It's they did I've never had it done before, where my initial visit, they did that panoramic, kind of like an MRI of my whole mouth. And how before they used to x-ray you one at a time with that ding, ding, you make a noise. Man, this x-ray machine they have, I just stood in the middle right there, and there was this thing that went across my face, and in 1 minute I was done. My whole mouth, they had a panoramic view of all my teeth. I mean, how cool is that? And my dentist, when she goes in the room, she's wearing the full gear, kind of when during COVID, you see doctors and nurses. She got the hood with the oxygen tank and everything, man. It's all high tech. It's all high tech, and they do all kinds of dentistry here, orthodont, you name it, oral surgery. They got it at the Asia Pacific Medical Center. Need advice? I'm 72. My girlfriend is 23. She is pregnant. Can this be? Well, it's I've heard people, I've heard people. I mean, if you hadn't had a vasectomy, I've heard people, but I don't know personally a person that's got a 23-year-old got pregnant, but I guess the only way to find out is a DNA. You know, that's popular here in the Philippines. You can get a DNA check to make sure that that's your baby. That's, I know people do that here. I know the embassy requires a DNA test here. When an American baby gets born in the Philippines, the U.S. Embassy can require a DNA test because they want to make sure that that baby is yours. You know, they want to make sure that that baby is eligible for a United States citizenship and a United States passport. So very common here, the DNA testing. Good AM, Colonel Fortune. All right, good AM, Ted. J-Boy. All right, J-Boy. Thank you for joining the live stream. Good morning, Gino and chat. Oh, I got to turn on the fan, man. I didn't realize it's getting warm in here. I didn't have the fan on here. My mistake, man. I didn't have the fan on. I was like, man, I got this, this materials that dry fit material, but man, it's starting to warm up because look, the sun is like beaming, man. Let me walk you outside real quick so you can see how warm it is here. For all you guys out there in the snow, it's like, I'm not rubbing it in or anything, but, for all the people that's like going through snow right now, here in the Philippines, we got sunshine. It is warm out here. I would estimate probably this early in the morning, it's already at least 85 degrees here. It will hit 90 degrees today because it did yesterday. There's our car right there. I took the car yesterday to the Toyota dealership. Maintenance, it was the 40,000 kilometer maintenance. They changed filters, they changed oil. Feels like a brand new car. And they also give me a free car wash. I like how they vacuum, tire black my tires, free car wash every time I take my car to the dealership. But quiet again in the neighborhood here. All these Toyotas, man. My neighbor right next door just bought a Toyota, like a van, a Toyota Avanza, I think. We go, my neighbor there's got a Vios, my other neighbor there, that looks like another Vios. Toyota is popular here in our province because we have a dealership here in Numancia, Aklan. We have a Toyota dealership. The Toyota dealership is only like a 5-10 minute drive for me. That's why we have so many Toyota vehicles. I was looking at the Toyotas yesterday, and actually Basil and I, we're really starting to like that new Toyota Rush. Before we were kind of sold on we were thinking of getting that Jimny, the 4-door Jimny. Once it's time to replace our car, we still got a few years left on our car. But man, that Rush is really nice. And now Dazzle's even looking at the Toyota Hilux, the truck, with the extra cab, for 4 people, and then you got the truck. I've never owned a truck in my life, so maybe that's an incentive for us to get a truck. All been the cars for me and SUVs. I've never owned a truck, so it might be cool to own a truck. But we need to save. We need to save because I do not want car payments. If we buy a truck, we're gonna have to build cash and pay cash for it. And right now, I think the base model of the Toyota Hilux truck is about $20,000. So about 1.2 million. So doable. Doable. We can save that. Daniel, LOL. I noticed how you said the new bike gets you a new girlfriend. Joke lang. I don't know about the new bike will get you a new girlfriend, but it doesn't hurt. The Pogi points that we were talking about with JP. Pogi is handsome. And usually here in Panay Island anyway, when the expat is riding a motorbike, the two popular bikes are the Honda ADV 160 and the Yamaha NMAX 155. Those are the two popular bikes here for expats. And normally there's a Filipina in the back. So if you don't have a Filipina in the back, that's kind of a signal to many Filipinas here. Ooh, he's single. A femme that's single, it's like that is a wanted commodity here in Panay Island. You're gonna attract attention if you're a single expat here riding a Honda ADV or a Yamaha NMAX. It is you got some pogi points, handsome points for that. I watch Colonel's around really nice. I know I've been looking. Colonel's been making a video with this. I get 360. I think the camera looks really nice. I enjoyed the videos. I saw him yesterday on the video that I watched of the Colonel. He passed by like the areas that I'm familiar with, right there by that rotunda. Remember that rotunda, Fortune, with that that thing that he took from what do they call that? Like a chimney looking thing right there by the rotunda, by the Hop In, by the Jollibee. I saw that the Colonel passed that by on his motorcycle ride. Good morning, Fortune from Ted. All right, we don't know Avril. Can it be? We don't know Avril. I also watched Ted's Golden Hour stream. I saw that sunset. I saw it goes on my, because I'm subscribed to the Colonel. I'm subscribed to like Journeys from Bohol, so I do see that on my feeds. Thanks, Fortune. All right, Edgar, Daniel. Karaoke gets the prettiest ladies the fastest way. All right. There's a hot tip there. Hot tip from Edgar, man. There's a pro tip from Edgar, Daniel. Karaoke gets the prettiest ladies. Hannah, and it does, man. Like I have to agree with Edgar. Like I said, even if you're not like if you never did karaoke, and if you don't like karaoke, at least have one song. If you've never done karaoke, at least have a go-to song. That way, when the Filipinas, when you're at a get-together, you're at a party, one song that you like, one song that the lyrics to, right? That way you're not going to struggle with the lyrics, but at least know one song. That way, when a karaoke starts, and they're gonna like, hey, they're gonna go, hey, Daniel, it's your turn, Daniel. At least you can participate with that one song, and then once you've done your one song, you're good to go. You can just relax the rest of the night. You can just say, hey, I did my one song already, because that one song makes a difference. Because what that means is you won't be called a KJ here in the Philippines. KJ means kill joy. You're a joy killer if you're not participating. That's why just learn one song, and the rest of the night everybody else is gonna sing and all that, but you participated, and people will remember that oh yeah, Daniel's song, the Bon Jovi song, it's my life. That's the thing. I know Edgar's favorite song is like Money for Nothing. He always sings Money for Nothing. That's his go-to song. Just have that prepared. Have at least one, and it goes good with the ladies that you're participating, that you're not a killjoy, because why would a lady want to be with a killjoy, right? Why would they want fun guys. They want guys that will like that they can date, and it will be a fun person to date. I subscribe, Gino Hannah. All right, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. LB, yeah, awesome sunset last night. Thanks, Fortune. Bizwax, this must be my Ohio week. I've met a guy from Newark, one other guy from Mansfield. Hey man, maybe all these Ohio people are moving to the Philippines. It's like, hey man, saying. I know for one reason or another, I'm meeting a lot of people from Washington State moving here to the Philippines. That that's kind of like random, right? Like Ohio. It's like Washington State. Why so many to the Philippines? So but I'm seeing that just so random. I also watch CEO to Farmer. Yeah, yeah. Simon's a good guy, man. From Isabela, Simon's got that nice home. I've been watching the vlogs of Simon inside his house, that outdoor living space that Simon has, man. Awesome, man. He's got an amazing home. Solar. He don't even pay for electricity. How awesome is that, man? Simon's so lucky. AKA Simon. Yep, just sharing his life story. Yeah, I know, right? From homeless to CEO of Pirelli Tires to now retired in the Philippines. I mean, amazing story from Simon. Check out his channel, man. Check out his channel. CEO to Farmer. Great channel. Good, amazing guy. I could tell. Good guy. Simon's a good guy. UK and giving it up to retire, be a farmer in Isabela, right? How cool is that, man? He's surrounded by like farm area out there in Isabela, just around nature, waking up to nature every day. No congestion, no buildings around him, That's so awesome. Edgar, they hear me sing and run away, man. They're not gonna run away. They're not gonna run away, Colonel. Edgar is learning quick where to find the Filipinas. J-Bo, hey man, it's like he's been here 2 months. Edgar's been here. He's hit his 2 month mark here. So he's knowing the layout of the land here in Calibo and Aklan province. We're actually gonna have a karaoke night coming up on Monday. Colonel, if you're in the area here, if you decide to come to Calibo, I know it's a long trip on your motorbike all the way there, but on Monday we're gonna have a karaoke night on Monday. I just want to make sure I invite you, Colonel, because I'm trying to invite, it's like Edgar's giving me the authorization to invite, so I'm trying to and Edgar's just a great guy. Edgar just wants to have fun, he just wants to have fun. So he's he told me invite our expat friends that wants to attend. So I'm making sure I reach out, And when I saw your name, I was just thinking, oh man, I haven't invited the Colonel to karaoke night. Yes, Ted, really golden. Edgar, my karaoke will make that girl run, Forrest, run. Hey, man, it doesn't matter, man. Daniel, if you're not a good, I don't think anybody really is a good singer, like karaoke, it's as long as you do your one song, man. Try maybe the easiest song, maybe that by heart. That way you can just get it done, your one song, then you're good to go. Believe me, when Filipinas get on a mic, man, it's hard to get that mic off of Filipina. It's like a Filipina that likes karaoke, when they get their hand on the mic, they'll be singing 2-3 songs in a row, so you will not have a problem once you've done your one song. Fortune, good AM, J-Boy, all right. Daniel, my payments are 1 month. All right, Edgar. Colonel, I believe they just see that you accept their culture. I think so, right? Right, Edgar? They just want to see that you're accepting of their culture. You're not one of those I don't do karaoke. Kind of I don't do karaoke. I don't sing. It's like that's what makes a lot of Filipinas happy. Karaoke makes people happy here. Pretty much anywhere you go, there's always karaoke. Any party you go to, any celebration, any get together, karaoke will be involved. So it's part of the culture. So to them, if you do participate in karaoke, you're kind of accepting the culture. You're not you're not shying away from accepting them also. Daniel, in advance. All right, J-Boy, hey Kuya Fortune, Hannah, hey Gino, you're friends with James and Karen, Jim, James, Jim, and Karen. So that makes you my mom and myself's brother. All right. Hey, man, it's like it's all good. It's all we're family here. I mean, we're becoming really good friends, and I feel like we're becoming family here because we care for each other. We care how our lives are here in Aklan province. I'm a big I support James and Karen. Everything they do. It's like I'm so happy for him because he really is. He is living his best life. It's like you can tell it from his smile when he talks. He always tells me how it was back in the U.S. for him. Now he's just like pure joy on his motorbike, traveling here in the Philippines. He's about ready to go on another adventure here outside of Panay Island. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to announce it. I'll let James do that. It's like, but he's just going to have one adventure after another here in the Philippines. And to me, man, that's living, man. That's living for me. That's, enjoying life, enjoy doing what you want, not letting others like ruin the joy in life. There's mom right there. Did you eat breakfast, mom?
Kakain pa lang.
Oh yeah, she's about to eat. She says she's about to eat.
Nakakape na ako eh. I'm done with cooking.
She's done with coffee. She's done with coffee. Now she says she's gonna eat. She's gonna eat rice. Eat rice for breakfast here. You know how Filipinos are. Rice is life here. Rice is life here in the Philippines. Good morning, brother Gino from Michael Manalastas. Good morning, my brother from Northern California. Right. Sometimes I get all the names, where people are from confused, but hopefully I didn't mess that up. Hopefully. I never karaoke until my first week here. I know, right, Edgar? Edgar was like, that was our welcome, Edgar, to the Philippines. When I picked him up at the airport, his first week here, we had karaoke night for Edgar. That was his welcome to the Philippines, was karaoke night. Quite right, Edgar. Daniel, I pay my storage fees 1 month in advance, so I still to clear out, sell. Okay, all right. Hey, at least you said you're like on your final payment, right? At least you're in your final payment for your storage unit. Daniel, donate. Yep, I've done that, Daniel. I donated many things when I left the United States back in 2011. Hey, all right. There's JP. Hello, Gino. I don't feel tardy. I never feel tardy, man. I never feel tardy. You're on time. It's like I think we had a good live stream this morning, JP. A lot of like fun topics. I tried to hit the topic earlier. I hit like the differences that I see. Nothing good or bad, just the differences between the lifestyle now in the US compared to the lifestyle here in the Philippines. Hannah, hi Colonel, Fortune, good AM, JP, LV, better late than never. That's right. JP thinks he is in Philippines. All right, JP's already on Filipino time, man. An hour late. That's how Filipinos are here, man. If you have a get-together here and you tell a Filipino like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., don't expect them to be on time. Usually an hour late. An hour late here in the Philippines is common for people. LOL Edgar, LD. LOL Edgar from Ted. JP is training to be a Filipino already. J-boy, I know, right? Belus, my wife really stressed. It's money. She not used to business. Slowly growing into her. Feel for her at times. I had to soften. Yeah, if she's never run a business, that could be even. I experienced that a little bit with Dazzle when we owned the Resto Bar in Malay, in Sambiray, Malay. I was trying to explain to Dazzle how to run a business, how to when you're the owner, when you're running a business, you got to do that separate line between friends, an employee, right? It could be your relative, it could be your friend, but business is business, and that's hard. That was a hard dynamic for Dazzle because when we were running the Resto Bar, Dazzle's older brother, older sister, and older sister-in-law were our workers in our Resto Bar at the time. So, and we were the boss. We owned the Resto Bar. So, You know how I'm sure you run into that Belush, you know, it's like it's still family and they have emergencies, but we kind of reiterate to them that, hey, business is business. When we open the resto bar, you guys gotta be here on time. You guys, you know, all that stuff, the drama or your personal life, you gotta like take that away. You know, you gotta be focused on the customer, focus on the business. But you know, that still has to work through that, and I'm sure your wife will more experience, more time in the business. I'm sure your wife will settle into it. JP, hello, Colonel, Fortune, LV. Man, there's like a lot, and everyone, Edgar. Yeah, that's cool, man. Just a lot of names, a lot of familiar faces here, a lot of familiar names. That's so awesome. John Vasquez, JP Calibo. All right. Already got the most important stuff. New laptop. Awesome, man. That's a thumbs up there. Double thumbs up there, Daniel. New laptop. Laptops here in the Philippines are more expensive and less quality. Better laptops in the US. If you can get a new, I did that. I bought a new laptop before tablet, all right, cell phone, unlocked cell phone. Make sure it's an unlocked cell phone. That way it can get a SIM card or that eSIM. eSIM now, you don't even need like the actual SIM. But make sure it's an unlocked smartphone. That way it will work here the minute you get here. JP, I was listening to the live on the way home from town. All right. What's New Year's report, Edgar? What's the New Year? So far, Edgar and I were trying to figure out like a resort. Yeah, of course, JP, you'll be here. So we're trying to figure out a resort to go to. My friend in Pandan Antique, he owns a resort and really nice resort, LNL Resort. So we're kind of thinking of that place because if you go to Boracay, even Calibo during New Year's, there's just a lot of people, you know, fireworks, a lot of noise. So it might be fun to go to a resort, quiet resort, but we can also buy our own fireworks. If you want to shoot, bottle rockets, big rockets right out on the beach, we can do that. We can do that. So, and my friend, he just renovated his bar area. He's got darts, he's got karaoke. I think he's gonna put a ping pong table in there in a bar, in a bar in this resort. So it could be fun. It could be fun for New Year's. We'll for sure do something, JP, for New Year's. We'll have an activity for sure. Tonton, hey, good morning. Kumusta? Mabuti, Tonton. Check out Tonton's channel. That is brother-in-law of James. I always see his stuff on my Facebook because we're Facebook friends, and he does, short videos on Facebook. And I think he's gonna do more long videos on YouTube. Man, you got a lot of content, Tonton, that you can do here in the Philippines, man. You can grow your channel here. Welcome, Tonton. All right, welcome, Tonton. JP, John B. All right, J-Boy. We need a Yoda icon for Fortune. Okay, all right. I'll look for one. I'll look for a Yoda icon. Since we got the icon now for the alien icon, so I gotta look for a Yoda icon. Good tip, J-Boy. Good tip, man. I will add that. Thank you for that tip. I will look for a Master Yoda icon. Edgar, JP, you might get to come. It depends on how well you perform on your first day. Hey, on your first day. Well, he'll get a couple of days before New Year, so I'm sure he'll adjust. JP's probably gonna be jet lagged from the ride from Seattle and then Seoul and then Cebu. It's a long flight, JP, but we'll take it easy on you. Edgar and I will take it easy on you, JP, when you get here. We won't run you around right off the bat. Right off the bat. One of my closest army buddy nearly disowned his only child, son, because of the way he. I know, right? That's like, to me, that's ridiculous, Daniel. That's just so ridiculous. To lose a family over politics. That is insane to me, man. That would never happen here. It's like not in my family, not in Duzzel's family. To me, that's just crazy. You disown your own kids because of politics. That's a waste of, man. Is this that balut emoji? The X balut emoji is like a poison. It's not poison. It's not poison, JB. I'll look for the Master Yoda emoji. I don't know if I can find a balut emoji. Maybe I'll find an egg. Maybe an egg, a duck egg. Maybe like an egg with like a duck sticking out. Maybe that will be our balut emoji. All right, That will be my project for the day, JP. Nursing homes here, Florida, cost 30. Whew, man, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. I know nursing homes in the US is not assisted living, all that. I know it thousands of dollars in the US. You just don't see that here. I'm sure there's assisted living facilities or nursing homes maybe in Manila that people are maybe the big city, but not in the province. I've never heard here in Panay Island, in Calibo, not a single one. I've never heard of like a nursing home here. Grandma, grandpa, they stay at somebody's house here. Somebody takes care of the elders here. Hi, buddy. Nice to see you again. I appreciate you. All right. Thank you, Jaeger. J-Boy Balut. Oh, there, right there. I'll look for that, J-Boy. I'll add that to my custom emojis. That duck. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like an egg with a duck on top would be our balut emoji. I just stick my head in the freezer if I start to miss the U.S. Doesn't happen often. I believe it. To me, it's like. Like I said, I've been here, it'll be going 15 years, come March, I've been here in the Philippines 15 years, and I don't miss the U.S., I really don't. I might miss food in the U.S., like I wouldn't mind eating some of the food that I used to be able to eat, like my friend Terry was like a Sonoran hot dog in Arizona, maybe Tex-Mex food, but to me it's not worth it enough for me to fly back to the United States just for food. There's plenty of food here that I enjoy. I'm Filipino, so there's Filipino food that I eat here that I didn't get much in the US. So there really isn't, not a lot of incentive for me anymore to visit the United States. That's why I haven't gone. It's like I rather go to like South Korea, visit South Korea or Japan, places where I used to live, take Dazzle with me so I can show those countries. They're close enough to the Philippines. The round trip tickets to South Korea or Japan are reasonable here. It's not gonna cost me an arm and a leg. Like if I flew Dazzle to the United States, the ticket alone for the two of us, and then hotels in the U.S., food expenses, traveling expense. If we gotta rent a car, it's like. We're talking thousands of dollars, not just a couple of thousand. It costs money to go to let alone the processing of like her tourist visa. The application alone are in the thousands, so to me, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it for us. I will try, one day to take Dazzle to the US, but it's not a priority. It's not a priority for us. I agree. I will have to find one. J-Boy. Balut. All right. Edgar. JP needs to eat balut on New... We will film it. All right. Hey, man. JP, that sounds like a challenge from Edgar, man. For New Year's, gonna eat balut. It's not hard to find balut here, unfortunately, JP. They sell him every night. There's not a place in the Philippines where balut is easily accessible. Easily accessible here. Not going to heaven. I have to draw the line somewhere. You got to draw the line, JP. No balut. Goku, hey Goku, long time no see, Goku, long time no see. Thank you for joining the live stream here. There's a bill in the Congress that will abolish dual citizenship. If passed, you have to choose. I think that's a room, I don't know, but I did see a notice about that there's rumors and the people here, like the government, I think I saved it. I will believe it when it comes out, Goku. Right now, it's just a bill, like introduction. long way from becoming law. It's like I know there was a rumor about that going on, and the Philippine immigration actually came out with a notice that people were even saying, "Oh, you're gonna lose your Philippine citizenship, American citizenship." If that happens to me, I will just choose to remain an American citizen because I have benefits with American citizen. The Philippine citizenship, really the only benefit to me being a Philippine citizen is I can stay here without any fees or without any. I can own land. That's why the land that we bought, our house here, it's all under Dazzle's name. So I've already prepared for anything like that. But that's a long way from happening. That's just people creating drama, Goku. I wouldn't believe that. I will believe it when when the President of the United States signs it into law. And Congress, House of Representatives, the Senate, before it gets to the President's desk, long way, years and years. Edgar, JP, I show you how it's done. Then you get to prove your new name. JP Kaliwa! Edgar, man. Edgar's thrown the gauntlet, man. Edgar's thrown the gauntlet, JP. He's giving you the challenge. JP Kalibo, fire. I'll eat one balut for you. All right, Daniel. See, but Daniel said I'll eat a balut. If born after 2008, it is just a recognition of Philippine citizenship. It's what my daughter has being born in 2014. Yeah. And really, it's not, to me, it's, they're making a big deal out of nothing. So if they tell me you got to choose citizenship, of course I'm going to choose American citizenship. I got benefits with American citizenship. I got Social Security. With the Philippine citizenship, I don't really get a lot of benefits. The only benefit I get is I can own land here, which I don't plan on buying land here. Everything we buy is going to be under Dazzle's name. And then I don't get a Social Security from the Philippine government. I can stay here indefinitely as a Philippine citizenship, but I can also do that as just a U.S. citizen because I'm a balikbayan. I could be a balikbayan here for many years. So I'm at the age now, it doesn't make a difference what they do with the dual citizenship. But I think that's just another thing with that. How people create drama or create like things like that, to get people riled up, but it's a long way from happening, all that cancellation of dual citizenship. That's a long way. Edgar, that's it, Daniel. We make sure you get to meet the nice, good Filipinas first. All right. Hey, you already got the connection, Daniel. Edgar's like, what is that? Laying down the foundation for y'all. It's like Edgar's already laying down the foundation for JP and Daniel for when you get here. Edgar's got the connections already here. Edgar's single. Single. He knows the single women. It's like, laying down the groundwork. The groundwork. Good job, Edgar. Good job, Edgar. If you're able to sell your house in New York, California, that huge money for your life. Oh yeah, any money, because it doesn't cost much here to build a house here. Just look at what James and Karen, look at what James built right there in Balete, up on that hill. He bought land, good sized land. He built the house. I have my niece. Oh yeah, Emilio sent me a message like his nieces with. Emilio actually is here in Calibo. He wanted to. He's planning, I think, long-term retire. I got him here in the Philippines. He's a subscriber. I just got a message from here. He landed in Calibo last night, and after this live stream, I'm gonna take him around Calibo. He's actually staying at La Casa Española, Edgar. You might see him there. His name's Emilio. So I guess his niece is with him. I'll show them around here in Calibo. I think they're gonna spend some days here in Calibo, and then they're gonna spend time in Boracay. So, I'm always kind of like, like I said, I'm always willing to show people around if they come here to Aklan province. I'll be happy to show them Kalibo, take them maybe to New Washington, eat lunch with them, ask any questions they have about Emilio's questions about living here in the Philippines. Hannah, you have such a pretty. Oh, thank you, thank you. All right, man. Thank you, Hannah. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. I'm just a happy person. I have a lot to be grateful for in my life, Hannah. You know, it's like I don't know. You're new to the channel. I'm a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with cancer. Valentine's Day 2023. I had to go through 12 chemo treatments, 33 radiation treatments, and happy to say I survived it. I survived the treatments. I'm still alive. I'm thankful every day that I'm still alive, and just wanting to share the positivity, help people. That's my goal. It's like as many people I can help when they want to move to the Philippines. I never charge any money. I don't charge money. I always just want to make that soft landing for people to move here to the Philippines. I want to help them, because I remember how that felt for me 14 years ago when I landed in Boracay. We didn't have YouTube back then in 2011. I didn't have all these information about the Philippines. I'm Filipino, but I was gone from the Philippines for over 30 years. I worked at the United States Air Force in the US for 20, worked 7 years at St. Mary's Hospital in Tucson, Arizona. So I was gone from this environment. And when I left the Philippines, I was 12. So totally different from 1978 when I left to the Philippines and I came back in 2011. It's like two different worlds. So it's nice that for me, I'm able to help people when they come here, answer all the questions. I'll try to answer all their questions. If I don't have the answers, I try to get the answers for them. And then just a friendly face when they land here. That's the main thing I know I can provide. It's like JP, he'll be here in how many days? Like 26 days. JP's gonna land at Katiklan Airport, just like Stevie before him, just like Edgar before him. I am there at the airport. Welcome to Aklan province. It's like a friendly face to welcome you to the new life that they want to establish here in Aklan province. Belus, going from Wyoming to this very tough heat and humidity. I know, right? Going from snow to this heat and humidity, man. Even Arizona dry heat, way different. I know. Dry heat. This heat in the Philippines, I always tell people, this is a different kind of heat. Man, it's like you won't know this kind of heat until you get here. Just the humidity, sweating all the time. Like now I have a fan with me. I'm wearing a dry fit shirt, but I'm close to sweating. I'm close to sweating still. Thanks, Daniel, but you don't have to. The mountains province, my happy place for Belus. I know, brother. Man, Belus, you're blessed, brother. You got God's country in Wyoming. When you're in Wyoming, you got Leyte. You got a beautiful farm you live in Leyte. James and Karen's adventure. All right, Goku. I'm sure if the USA abolishes dual citizenship, Philippines will change the rule to accommodate former citizens. Easy fix. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like you know how it is, James. When a rumor starts spreading like that, people make a big deal of it. Not a big deal to me, man. To me, I actually didn't plan on getting my Philippine citizenship back if I didn't need to go to school at STI College Calibo to use my GI Bill for 4 years. I would have never applied for Philippine citizenship. I would have just maintained my United States. I'm a balikbayan, so I would have just taken advantage of the balikbayan privilege. Every year, I would have exited the Philippines. To me, it gives me incentive to leave the Philippines every year to visit Vietnam, Thailand, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Gives me an incentive to visit other countries. If I have to leave every year, come back and get my balikbayan privilege. So not a big deal. I mean, people make a big deal about everything. To me, it's nothing. A lot of Filipinos that come to the Philippines, I know many don't get their dual citizenship, because they're like, Well, why do I need dual citizenship? I can stay in the Philippines. I'm a Filipino by birth. I have Filipino birth certificate, so you get the balikbayan privilege. So so it's not a big deal like Goku is saying. J-Boy, the province and islands is the real Philippines. Now, amen, J-Boy. I gotta agree with you, man. That's 100%. 100%. If you go to the Philippines and you just live in BGC, that is not the Philippines. That is not the Philippines. The Philippines is in the provinces. The good people of the Philippines is in the provinces. The city like Manila or Cebu City where everybody works, call centers, banking, all that. That's not the Philippines. That to me is just another metropolis. That could be like Singapore, could be Tokyo, could be Los Angeles. People go there to work, to earn money. I know a lot of people go there, a lot of expats, because they like that westernized lifestyle, the condominium living in BGC. Nothing wrong with that. But if you think that's the Philippines, that's not the Philippines. The heart of the Filipino, the heart of hospitality is in the provinces. Trust me, if you go here to Panay Island, you will feel that here. From the barangay captains, from the mayor, they are proud people here. They're gonna welcome you. They're like, when they see an AFAM here, that's a big deal for them. You know why? You selected the Philippines out of all the countries in the world. You picked the Philippines. And to the locals here in the provinces, when they see a foreigner, a foreigner, a fam, it's like they smile immediately. They welcome you into their home. They welcome you to their province. They like to talk to you because, think about it, of all the countries an expat or a foreigner could have gone, why did they pick the Philippines? Especially like a town like Numancia, we are got 25,000 people, it's like a little town in Numancia. What are you doing here? It's like, so to them, they're happy that you chose your small town. What about Christianity there that is not Catholic? That is, oh yeah, there's plenty of, you don't have to be just Catholic, Christian. There's many denominations here of Christianity. Filipinos are religious, it's like, born again Christian, what else? Protestants, Catholic. All the denominations are here, and they blend together. They're not angry with each other. You get to practice whatever religion you want. They even have Muslims here. Not many. I haven't seen a mosque or anything here in Panay. I think there's one in Boracay. I know for sure there's a mosque. Because there are a lot of Muslims in Boracay. They sell goods in Boracay. But here in Calibo, I haven't really seen it. Maybe somebody here knows, but I haven't seen it. Most of the churches that I see here are like the Protestants, Baptists. There's Baptists here. What else? There's LDS. I know there's Mormons here. There's just all kinds of religion here. They're just you're free to express whatever religion you want to believe. Or Jehovah's Witness. We got Jehovah's Witness here. People, it's like respect others here when it comes to religion. It's not like, you're following a religion and they don't like you anymore. Nothing like that happens here. Hannah, Jim and Karen make me jealous, but my mom and I plan to go over to... All right, Hannah, you're going to have a good time. If you visit James and Karen in April, you're going to have a good time in the Philippines. You got people here that will welcome you, will show you the life here. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun for you, Hannah. Edgar, province much cheaper to live. Yes, definitely, right, Edgar? If you go to BGC, a two-bedroom condo apartment in BGC, over $1,000, easy, right? Easy, $1,000 just on rent. A two-bedroom here in Calibo, you're only looking at maybe $300 for same Western type standard, hot water, a nice building, nice complex. So the rent alone you save, and then the food, everything's a lot cheaper. When you eat out at a restaurant in BGC compared to eating out in Calibo, not even close. You're saving at least 50%. your groceries, your produce, your seafood, everything's at least going to be 25-30% less. So if you're in a budget, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here in Aklan province, and I'm retired on a budget. Been doing it for 14 years. I'm able to retire on my military pension alone. Every month I'm saving money. That's more than what I can ask for in retirement. It's like the last 14 years, every single month, a portion of my pension gets saved. And I'm able to live a comfortable life. I'm not rich. It's like, but hey, I got a car that's paid off. Our house, a $200 mortgage, 4.5 years left on a 15-year loan. We bought land, with savings, money that I saved from my retirement since I lived here, paid for our land, paid for our car, So to me, doable, it's like as long as for me, it worked out because, again, I'm a more minimalist, I don't, nothing really attracts me anymore about owning material things. To me, when I buy something, it's got to have a purpose, so it's got to have, I'm not buying things just so, it look good, or it's a fun thing to have, I don't do that. I used to when I lived in the US, but I no longer do that. It's becoming clear to me that Panay is a very exceptional place, right, James? The more time James has spent here in Panay Island, he is finding out that, man, I've talked about this for so long. I've always thought about Panay Island, Aklan Province, Capiz Province, Antique Province, Iloilo. This is a gem, a hidden gem here in the Philippines. If you're looking for that quiet, peaceful retirement life with like some of the best people that you'll meet in the world, man, it's a hidden gem, man. This place is a hidden gem. That's why I've been here all 14 years. I'm never leaving. This is my permanent home. And I'm not from here. I'm not from Panay Island. I'm like a transplant. And I grew up in Manila. In the city. I was in the United States for like over 30 years. Now I'm here in Panay Island. And this is the best place I've ever lived in my entire life. I've lived in Japan. I've lived in Korea. Lived in the United States. This is Panay Island's the best place that I've ever lived in my entire life. April is hot here, Hannah. Dry season. Yes, I mean, it's dry, very hot. April, March, April, May, super hot. But hey, I know Americans, when they come, that's what they want, right? They want the hot weather, no rain. They want the beach. They want, you'll get that. It's not the rainy season. It's hot though. Be prepared. Sunscreen, bring sunscreen, hat. Even us, we bring an umbrella here. In the Philippines, we carry umbrella for the sun, because it's so hot here. Belus, LV, bring on April. That's funny, Belus. Belus prefers the sun, Belus prefers the heat than all the rain that we're getting. 89 days till me, myself, and I, depart to the, all right, man, that's nothing, Daniel. You will be here before you know it. And that's funny, LOL from Hannah. Michael C, my good friend Interese Martires. Good morning, bro. Hello, everyone. James and Karen says, John B. Jason Potter. Hey, hello, Jason Potter. Good to see you. I mean, Mom and Dazzle haven't done any karaoke. They've been singing karaoke at home, but they haven't been live streaming it, Jason. Because I told Dazzle she don't have to live stream, because I know when Dazzle does the live stream, she ends up not singing as much, and Dazzle really enjoys singing karaoke. That's why you haven't seen one of their karaoke nights. I told him just have fun. It's like right now, it's like we're kind of going through tough times. We lost our dog Chloe last week, so everything we're doing, just we're trying to keep our mind off that and not do anything, not doing anything. Because sometimes the live stream, like I know Dazzle, she's really concerned about, answering people on the live stream. And you know how it is, Jason. Sometimes there's trolls, there's people that try to be funny when they're not. They try to be funny, but they're really not funny. I'm a little biased. Bohol is way up on my list, James. Awesome place. Yes, I could... Ted, between Bohol and Panay Island, I can see so much similarities. You know, it's like I've been to Bohol, we've been to Panglao, it's a lot of similarities. Like even the roads when you ride your motorbike, when you rent a scooter in Panglao, you travel. A lot of similarities. It's almost like a duplicate. You know, it's like Panay Island in Bohol is like a duplicate provinces here. That's why I always tell people, man, if you want to see the real Philippines, go to the provinces. You know, don't go to the cities. You know, the cities, it's not, like I said, not a good representation of the Philippines. I was thinking the same thing yesterday evening. Everyone was outside and smiling. Right, James? And now we got the opening of lights. You know, I finally got the dates. I gave the dates to James. December 8th is the opening of lights at the Capitol, where the governor sits. Fireworks, a big event at the Capitol where the governor, thousands of people were going to be at the Capitol for opening of lights in that area. And then the 14th is the opening of lights at Pastrana Park. Again, massive amount, thousands of people are going to be at Pastrana Park. Firework display, unbelievable firework display. Probably a concert, a performer from Manila, usually at Pastrana Park, just to get like the festivities going here in Calibo. Good AM, Michael C. from Fortune. Ray, hey, good morning, Ray. Good morning, Ray. Fortune, good AM, Tonton. All right, Tonton. Tonton's on the channel too. All right. Beluz, we can't have child fixed. All right. But boy, fun. Beluz, fun trying. Bama, all right, Bama. Good morning, Bama. J-Boy, LOL, Beluz, Henna. The snow is cold. I know, man. I have not been in snow in so long. The last time I saw snow and lived in snow was when I left Japan in 2003. So I've been away. I haven't seen snow in 22 years. You know, I've been living here in a tropical nation now for almost 15 years. I don't miss it. I don't miss the snow. Good morning, Ray from Ted. How did the typhoon affect you? Typhoons don't really affect us much here in Western Visayas. We're kind of, Western Visayas, and I know Central Visayas like Dumaguete, Bacolod. There was some flooding in Bacolod City, but Western Visayas, all the typhoons that hit the Philippines, we don't get as affected as much. Not unlike like Leyte, where Belus is, you know, typhoons usually cross their area, usually goes up like northwest trajectory, central Luzon, you know, that area. But we're kind of good when it comes to like typhoons here in Western Visayas. Good morning, Ted. Good morning, Ray. Good morning, Fortune. JB, Bama. Kumusta, Fortune? From Tonton. Tonton, all right. Kumusta, Fortune? About 1 of 3 kids in the USA, another man's baby, not the husband. DNA test should be a must in the US. Yeah, here they do the DNA test here, Daniel, because, you know, if it's a foreigner, that's a possible, an American, a possible father of a child here, that child is an American citizen. That's why they do the DNA testing. That child will be eligible for a United States passport, a citizenship, and also if the father is a Social Security age, like let's say a person collected Social Security at 62, if they have a child here, that child is eligible for Social Security. 60% of the Social Security of the father, the child is eligible for until the child hits 18. Actually raises to 75% if the American citizen passes away. There's like, I did a video a while back of all the rules because many senior citizens here, Americans that are on Social Security, are having kids here in the Philippines. It's common here. It's not like out of the ordinary. I know in the US that would probably what's a senior citizen doing having kids, you know, but here in the Philippines it's a common dynamic because most of the time, you know, when you're in your 50s or 60s here, you're marrying a Filipina in their 20s and 30s, and the Filipinas are childbearing, they can still have kids. Ray says, good morning, Belus and Daniel. Rick 22, it's typhoons boost in plural. I know, like this typhoon that's coming in, it's number 23. 23 for the year here. Wilma is good. If it does become a typhoon, it's not a typhoon yet, but if it becomes a typhoon when it enters the Philippine area of responsibility, it will be typhoon number 23, Wilma. Just the Flintstones. Wilma! It's like a Fred Flintstone. Hey, Ray and Tonton from J-Boy. Rush is a 7-seater. That would be great. Yeah, we were looking at it yesterday. Dazzle and I were looking at the Rush, and we were looking at the Hilux. I think now Dazzle's leaning more to the Hilux, the Toyota Hilux. I've never owned a truck, so but it's gonna be down the road. Our Wigo's like, man, our Wigo's like running like a machine. No, and I gotta save money. I gotta save cash, man. I won't buy a car like payments. I want to save. Yeah, always the car that we pay the Wigo cash, and if we do end up getting a Toyota Hilux, I'm going to pay cash also. So it'll be 2-3 years down the road still. Gas engine. LB. Rick, most of the big typhoons hit North Philippines. Yes, Northern Luzon. Like Cagayan, Ilocos. If you live in that area, man, half of the typhoons hit that area. Bicol region, Central Luzon gets hit with a lot of typhoons. Practical. All right, Ray. Good name, John. Rick, that is good to hear. Belus, morning, Ray. Coffee on. Hee. All right, I really would love to visit the Philippines. You should, Rick. If you're thinking, Philippines is a great place to visit, man. Mayad man, Ton. Continue mo mag-live, Ton, para mas comfortable. Yeah, you'll get it going, Ton, and it's like, we'll support you. If you go live, if you do stuff, man, I know I'll support you, brother. Belus, Fortune, you banker. Are you Philippine-American? No, Fortune is just like strictly Filipino. Fortune is like a University of Philippines graduate. It's like, that's a big deal here. Bilis, I'm sure Bilis, if you're a UP graduate of a UP Diliman here, that's kind of like our Harvard, that's why he's a banker, Fortune is Master Yoda, man. He's very knowledgeable. Foreigner will be 19 years old when I sell it. All right, that was popular, that Forerunner, when I was in Japan. A lot of Japanese owned that Forerunner when I was at Misawa because we had a lot of snow. So 4-wheel drive Forerunner, very popular when I was in Japan. Yeah, you won't have a problem selling that. That's a hot commodity. Good morning, Gino and everyone from Michael S. and Che. Michael S. and Che in Dumaguete City. Hello, Michael. J-Boy. Or be like Edgar and have a driver. I know, right? Edgar got it going on. He's got a driver. He's got, a person taking him around. It's like, that's definitely Pogi points there. If you got a personal driver. Chimney. Oh yeah, that's it. Chimney Monument. That's it. I couldn't think of the Filipino name for it, but it is like the monument. I saw the Colonel. Fortune go through that. Ray says, "Good morning, Michael." Hey, Ray. Good morning from Michael to Ray. LB. Just do it, Rick. You won't. Oh yeah, I know, right? I know, Ted. You won't regret visiting the Philippines. It's so different from America. So different from anywhere else that you go. People are friendly. People speak English. It's like not gonna be a problem understanding people. I told him about history of the the Pison family. 4 than 3 videos. My memory, man, is my memory, Fortune. I'll be 60 next year. My memory is just, I know the stories you told me. I know the videos I watched, but man, as we get older, unfortunately, our memory's not the best. Good morning, Gino, Dazzle, Angeline, and Leanna. Thank you, Ray. Daniel, hey, Ray. All right, John Vasquez, Ray. I have Sunny Song. All right, Sunny Song. Rick, yeah, I plan on meeting up with my dad's Air Force buddy out in FPH. He said oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Rick. You know, that's always good when you have like, when you land, somebody picking you up at the airport, taking you around, you know, you're all set, man. You're gonna have a good time. The one and only, Simpin. All right, jump back. Like and subscribe, says Fortune. The tequila. Always sing tequila. Tequila. Edgar, J-Boy, I was professional driver in the US, but they have no rules here. It's like a free-for-all, or like the the movie Death Race. Death Race, Death Race. Hey, Captain Ron. All right, look at the Toyota Hilux Champ. It's 70% complete. One option is turning it to an RV. Ah, all right, Captain Ron. We're in the preliminary stages, and it'll be a while before we purchase another vehicle. More likely, like I said, like 2 or 3 years down the road, when I get my Social Security at 62, definitely, you know, we will be serious about upgrading our current vehicle. But the current vehicle is great, man. The Toyota Wigo is an awesome car. Morning, John. Good AM, Michael S. from Fortune. Told my wife she married me because I'm a musician. LOL, joking, joke lang. All right, we joke all the time in public too, like sugar daddy, mama song. Once you laugh, that's all right, man. That's all right. I can tell, man, Belush, you met a good Filipina, and I'm happy for you, brother. I've said it many times on the live stream. The key to a happy life in the Philippines is like meeting a good Filipina. The Filipina will make or break your retirement here. You meet a good Filipina here, you're set for the rest of your life. You meet a bad Filipina here, nothing but pain. Nothing but pain. And so be careful meeting that right. Take your time. Vet your Filipina. Meet the parents. Meet the relatives. You know, take your time. You know, it's like the biggest decision you'll make here is finding your Filipina here. Hey, good morning, Fortune, for Michael S. Rick, Dazzle, how long were you in the Air Force? I was active duty United States Air Force for 20 years. I retired as an E7 Master Sergeant. I came into basic training February of 1984, and I retired March of 2004. I've been collecting a military pension now for 21 years, going on 22, man. Going on 22, collecting a military pension from the United States Air. I am blessed, man. I can't even believe that I've been collecting a pension from the military for 22 years now. Your vlog is starting. All right, it's starting to freeze. All right, no worries. I'm gonna try to end it if I'm starting to freeze here. I'm at the 2-hour mark anyway, so I usually end the live stream here anyway. I'm gonna do it. This way, Edgar is organized chaos driving. J-Boy and horn. Yet horn issues as a signal. Karaoke is like public speaking in front of strangers. I need a couple of whiskey. All right, that's all right, man. Whatever it takes for you to get karaoke, man. Jason, hi, Mom. Keep that money. Mom already spent the money, Jason. Mom already spent that money. LOL, Jason Tonton. Salamat sa advice, Fortune. Medyo mauhay. You'll get used to it, man. Don't worry about it, Tonton. We'll support you. Go on those lights. We'll support you. Jason, I think they have to change the name now to Jamie and Karen's Extreme. I know James was telling me about the Extreme Adventure. Edgar, yes, if you pay attention to the driving, you see they have a way everyone working together. All right, Daniel. I'm just trying to like breeze through the comments so I can end the live stream. I guess I'm freezing. So are you? All right, Orang Melayu. I don't know what that is, Wolfgang. That must be like something in Thailand. Hey, Charlie Let's. Hey, all right. From my friend in Boston. Dazzle, smile, and laugh will brighten up the USA. Oh, thank you, brother. I might have to move to Iloilo where it is safe from balut. Hey, ain't no safe in Iloilo for balut, JP. Balut is everywhere in the Philippines. Nowhere is safe. Right there, Tessa, nowhere is safe. JP, I will be nice after a week or two. After I have picked on the new guy long enough. Good morning. All right. Lawrence, Albathos. Thank you, Lawrence, for joining the live stream. My balut is a sugar-coated marshmallow. Easter duck. That's funny, Ted. I just got my permit. Oh, congratulations! Congratulations, Lawrence. Got your spousal visa. Awesome, awesome, my friend. Yeah, no more visa renewals for you, man. That's awesome. Congratulations. Same here, 13A. 13A is like the spousal visa. When you marry a Filipina, you're eligible for the 13A visa here in the Philippines. LOL, Ted. Peeps, Balut. Grateful to be a permanent resident. That's it. You're a permanent resident in the Philippines once you get your 13A. Got my op rain jacket, breathable fully. All right. Yep, Ray. Peace. Albathon. LB, how long after your probation period did you wait to get? About 2 to 3 months. All right. Oh, that's good. Now I didn't know about a probation period. Expat Balut is at 7-Eleven. Called hard-boiled eggs. LV. All right. Report to 3 months. Congratulations. Balut Farm. J&K can start a balut farm. What town is La Costa in? I haven't seen La Costa. I'm not familiar with La Costa. JP, 27 days for me. La Casa Española. Oh, La Casa Española is in Calibo. Mark said hi. Mark Johnson. Brian, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Jacob, Gino. Have the Hilux would like last year. All right. That'd be good. I don't know why you can't find any Lutheran churches in the Philippines except in Manila. Maybe Fortune might know. I'm sure that we'll find it, man. You know, it's like you research enough. You know, I'm sure we'll find that church of yours here in the Philippines. Hey, it's, Simon. Or good morning, Simon. All right, hey y'all, CEO Simon. Good morning, Brian. All right, I'm just trying to like zip through the comments here. That way I can end the live stream. I'm going past my time here. CEO, good fortune, God bless. All right, I got to the bottom. All right, have a great day. All right, everyone, have a great day. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thanks for joining the live stream. I appreciate your time. All right, Michael S. Have a good day, brother. My brother from another. Have a good day. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Appreciate everyone. Take care, and everyone, please stay blessed. Stay